Hey, welcome back. Got a good one for you today. I know I always say that, but they're all good. Not that I'm good, but all the bourbons are good. But I've got a twist for you today. When is a bourbon not a bourbon? When it's not at least 51% corn in the mash bill and it has not been aged at least 2 years in new American oak barrels. So today, we're not going to have a bourbon. We're going to have something else, but you won't be disappointed. All right, let's get right into this. We have Whistle Pig. Yes, sir. This is 100% rye, aged 10 years, and it is 100 proof. This is what they call their 10, 100, 100. This is aged and bottled by, what does that say? It's hard to read. Go Americago Beverages, LLC. I know it's Vermont. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Vermont. But they procure the whiskey from Canada. So, but it is bottled in Vermont there. So, this is Whistle Pig. I don't know what else to say about it. This is the 10-year age. This costs me a little bit of money. I won't even go into how much. They had to... They had to unlock the glass. I had to get someone with a key. But I'm going to pour you some here. There you go. And as always, if you don't drink that, you know I will. And again, Bourbon Bounty logo right there. I don't know if you can see it. But that's on there. Again, that was from my wife. She... has this little Cricut cutter thing and cuts vinyl. There's those rosy notes. All right. It does very intricate work. I think the hardest part on there is not, the design itself. It's getting it off there and transferring it to this glass. And she did a great job on that. So, most of everything I have on my shelf are wheat heavy bourbons. So again, bourbon has to be at least 51% corn. I know I have some up there that's almost 75% corn or more. And one of them has like the second, usually when you get a rye bourbon, they're talking about that second most prominent grain. And it could technically be 51 and 49 on the rye, as long as it's 51% corn. In that mash bill. But typically what you're going to get is some different grains in there, and maybe 55 to 60% corn, and then maybe 15, 20% wheat or something like that. But we know what the mash bill is on this. 100% rye whiskey. So let's get some air in there, and I'm going to treat it just like bourbon until it doesn't taste like bourbon. But that is clinging pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's rye. I can smell it. But I love it. It's still good. Now, there is some sweetness coming off the nose. It's hard to get past that rose petal, but I'm getting some wood notes out of that a little bit. It's not deep, dark. I'm certainly not getting too much of the vanilla at all. Not your typical bourbon notes. There's some fruit in there. I would lean this on the fruit side. Yeah, it's clinging really well. I would lean this on the fruit side out of the apple range and more over into a cherry or something like that. Yeah, it smells great though. Boy, that's clinging really good. I have those trails running down on there. So I'm expecting a good tongue coating. Hopefully a long finish. As much as I paid for this, I'd like to enjoy it. So let's see. Yeah. That it's not bourbon, but that is good. That is really, really good. Yeah, I am getting a little finish on that. And I even got a little bit of heat, right? Even though it's only 100 proof, I got a little bit of heat right in the top of the stomach area, but not a lot. It's not a high alcohol content. Very, very interesting though. I'm not used to drinking rye whiskey, but I've heard a lot about Whistle Pig and I was very excited about it. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Yeah, I'm not going to say this in a bad way, okay? But when I first get it in my mouth, I'm not used to the flavor, okay? And I'm really having to focus to dissect it. But because bourbon has a lot of typically the same type of notes in it, but there's a lot of complexity to a lot of different bourbons. But when I first put it on my tongue and I'm getting the aroma from the glass and the flavor before I swallow, it almost feels like I bit a bunch of flowers, like a flower arrangement, in a vase. And it's like I just shoved them in my mouth and bit down. And what that sensation gives me is I'm going to get some bitter off of it, but I don't. I mean, this is a very well balanced rye whiskey. Wow, that is fantastic. Yeah, it's coating out really well, but I'm getting a lot of conical pine type out of it rather than oak. It's like the smell of pine needles or a pine cone or something. It's very potpourri, and that's rye. But man, that is really, really good. If you want to try something different, and you've got some money to burn because you're sitting at home all the time during this pandemic, put your mask on and go get you a bottle of this, because this is really, really good. I consider this more a dessert. I don't think I would smoke a cigar with it, but I'm just not used to the rye, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that is good. Really, there's a lot more sweet to it than I expected, but it's a different sweet than the bourbon. I'm getting a lot and again, I'm way out of my element here, so I may not be, but I am good at describing kind of things that are on my tongue. Yeah, I'm getting, man, that's a lot of floral, but the sweet on it is hard to describe. Like I have it. Like an enriched, like honey, like I picked up some honey one time from a farmer's market thing, and it was organic honey. They had their own stuff, and they grew certain flowers right around the bees, and said this was, not clover honey. This was something else honey. And I can't remember what type of flower it was or whatever, but that's what they had put the beehives in the middle of this field of a very particular flower so that they could get a really particular flavoring in this honey. And that's what I'm kind of getting out of this. It's more like that type of organic honey sweet than vanilla or caramel or anything. Man, that is really good. Man, that is clinging to that glass. It's really coating the tongue. But again, I'm used to getting those peppers and leathers and darker oaky notes, and I'm not getting that out of this. I'm getting spice, like maybe allspice, a little cinnamon in it, but not anything overpowering the next. It's almost like a pumpkin spice or something that I'm getting out of this. And again, lots of the floral in that. Very, very, very good. Very good. If you want to tip over into some ryes, this is a really, really good one. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this. And as always, please like and subscribe. And I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.